Just for information again, what we're doing in onPost execute, we could end up with a small problem at a later stage. This is a method which is part of the async task object, and there are strict rules about how you use these things. Now, I've been talking and showing you bits and pieces here, and you may be wondering, well, where's he getting all that information from? And one way to actually see where you get the information from is if you sort of click on an item and then press F1. Now I can guarantee I'm pressing F1 on the keyboard. We get some documentation for it. So we can look at the documentation either online or whatever documentation is installed with Android Studio. And it tells you a little bit about it, where it is, what it is. So this is where I got the protected from, because it's telling me how to use this item. Okay, so if I'd just written onPost execute and then pressed F1, it would tell me how I've got to use it. So I use protected void onPost execute string result. So that's where I got that information from. I might want further information, so I'm going to click on onPost execute here and see where that takes me. So that's taken me to some further information. So I can scroll down, it tells me a little bit about it. So it tells me that it runs on the UI thread after doing the background as finished. Okay, so I can also see back down here what's happening. So I've got further items that I can use on pre-execute, doing the background, or on cancel. I'm just going to click on pre-execute just to have a look. And what happens is that it takes me to developer.android.com and all the reference libraries that go with it. Now, one of the things that I didn't do, which I'm not sure if it shows on here, so here's my onPost execute, tells me all about it, but it doesn't give me an example of how to use it. But there's one thing that I missed out, which is, I think, specified down here, probably on cancel. There we go, on cancelled. It says here, the default implementation simply invokes on cancelled and ignores the result. If you write your own implementation, which is what we're doing with onPost execute, we are writing our own implementation. It says here, do not call super.onCancelled result. Now, it's not telling us to use it in onPost execute, but we may have a problem. So I really need a line of code like this in my program just to make sure, because this is object-oriented programming and there's a hierarchy tree of objects above it and objects beneath it, and I need to get them right. And this is saying, before you do anything, call the thing it was derived from, the same function, and pass the result. So I'm going to do that in my program. Probably not making a great deal of sense to you now, but what I'm talking about is this. I need to really type in super. So it's going to go for the onPost execute. Okay, the one that is above it. Super onPost execute. And I'm going to send the result. Okay. So that is a good way of programming. We're protecting ourselves from any errors that might happen. When we deal with object-oriented programming, this word super and what we're doing will become clear to you. But for the moment, I'm including that just to ensure that the program is not going to crash or we're going to run into any problems.